I'm very excited what I see right there. I've been waiting to see bedrock in this hole. We've got it right here.
The machine, a beast named Monster Red, roars as it tears into the frozen earth of Rally Valley. The goal is 1,500 ounces of gold for the season, a number that seems almost impossible. For Rick Ness and his crew, every shovelful of dirt is a bet. They're chasing a whisper of fortune deep beneath the ground, a place where the earth itself tries to stop them. You see, they hit what they thought was the bottom, the bedrock where the richest gold should be.
You know what I mean? That's the first gold way out of Rally Valley, and we know there's more down there. And I've never put that much gold on the table at once.
But what they found there was more than just glittering metal. It was a game changer that came with a heavy price. Bedrock Bonanza. You see, the life of a gold miner is a series of massive bets. For Rick Ness, this season was the biggest bet of his life. He set an audacious goal to pull 1,500 ounces of raw gold from the unforgiving Alaskan ground. To put that in perspective, that's over 90 pounds of pure gold worth millions of dollars. It's a target that would make even the most seasoned miners nervous. To get there, he was relying on his colossal wash plant, affectionately named Monster Red, a mechanical titan designed to chew through hundreds of tons of earth an hour. The crew was working in a promising spot known as Rally Valley, a place with a reputation for hiding rich deposits of gold. The operator, Bailey Carton, was in the hot seat, meticulously carving away at the pay dirt. The pay dirt is the layer of gravel and soil where gold, being heavy, has settled over millions of years. It's the treasure chest of the natural world. The thing nobody tells you is that finding this layer is only half the battle. In this part of Alaska, the ground is saturated with water just a few feet below the surface. As Bailey dug deeper, the excavation pit began to fill with icy groundwater, turning the entire operation into a muddy, treacherous swamp.
That's a lot of water.
The water's not gonna stop.
No. All the stuff that I'm digging out of this hole right now, it slightly looks like bedrock a little bit. Rick did say there should be at least another 20 feet down.
This water wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a ticking time bomb. If the pay dirt became too saturated, it would turn into a thick, unmanageable slurry that Monster Red couldn't process efficiently. Even worse, the rising water threatened to flood the entire cut, making it impossible to dig any further. They were in a desperate race to get the richest dirt out before it was swallowed by the earth itself. Every scoop of the excavator was a victory against the encroaching water, a frantic effort to salvage the treasure that lay just beneath their feet. It was a stressful, high-stakes environment where a single mistake or a machine breakdown could cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars. The pressure was on and the water was rising, creating a tense drama deep in the Alaskan wilderness.
That's a problem. I'm gonna go try over on this other side. See if this is open or frozen or what the hell is going on.
What many overlooked was that just as things seemed most dire, Bailey hit something hard. It was a sound that changed everything. A simple change in sound could signal the end of their troubles. From mud to metal. Many people are crazy about the idea of striking it rich, but they often miss the subtle clues that lead to a massive discovery. For a miner, the world is read through sound and texture. As Bailey's excavator bucket scraped the bottom of the pit, the sound changed from the soft grind of digging through gravel to a hard, grating scrape. This was the sound they had been waiting for. It was the sound of metal on rock. They had hit bedrock.
Yeah, I'm right down at the very bottom of Rally Valley right now, and right near the sump hole, and it looks like it's all bedrock now. Can you come? Take a look and figure out what to do next here.
In the world of placer mining, bedrock is the holy grail. Gold is incredibly dense, about 19 times heavier than water. Over millennia, as glaciers melt and rivers flow, gold particles get washed downstream. Because of their weight, they sink until they hit an impenetrable layer, usually the solid bedrock at the bottom of a valley. The richest pay dirt, the stuff that holds the biggest nuggets and the highest concentration of gold, is almost always found sitting directly on top of this bedrock. To put it mildly, this was a monumental turning point. The crew knew they were no longer just digging and promising ground, they were at the doorstep of the motherlode. The energy on the site shifted instantly from tense desperation to electric excitement. Rick rushed over to inspect the find. What he saw confirmed their hopes. The bedrock was not smooth, it was full of cracks and crevices. These little fissures are perfect traps for gold, holding on to flakes and nuggets for centuries. It was a geological jackpot, but not all things are what they seem. Hitting bedrock also meant the water problem was about to get much worse.
We're the first human beings to be at this level ever.
Now that is pretty cool though.
The solid rock floor prevented the groundwater from seeping further down, causing it to pool and rise even faster. They now had a very small window of opportunity to scoop up this incredibly rich pay dirt before the entire cut was completely flooded. The stakes had been raised even higher. They were sitting on a fortune, but it was a fortune that could be snatched away at any moment. The race against time had just entered its final, most critical lap. The treasure was in sight, but getting it out was another story. Rivers of gold. The thing nobody tells you about gold mining is the sheer back-breaking labor that goes into the cleanup. After hours of frantic digging and processing tons of pay dirt through Monster Red, the real work began. The wash plant uses water and gravity to separate the heavy gold from the lighter sand and gravel. The final product is a super concentrated black sand, which is then taken to the gold room for the final separation.
I'm honestly really excited to see, when we finally clean out Monster Red and see what the is in those mats. I feel like it's gonna look really good.
This is where the magic happens. Rick, along with his mine manager Jason and gold recovery specialist Heather Folster, gathered for the moment of truth. The mood was a mixture of hope and anxiety. They had worked tirelessly, battled the elements, and gambled on this patch of ground. Now they would find out if it had all paid off. Heather began the meticulous process of panning the concentrates. As she swirled the black sand in the pan, the first glimmers of yellow appeared. Then more. Soon the bottom of the pan was coated in a thick layer of golden flakes. But there was something else, something that made everyone gasp. Nestled among the fine gold were nuggets, some of the biggest they had ever found on this claim. These weren't just specks, they were solid, chunky pieces of gold, some as big as a thumbnail. The sight of these nuggets confirmed that hitting bedrock had been the key. This was the old, heavy gold that had been sitting there for eons. After the final separation, the gold was dried and poured into a weighing pan. The digital scale flickered as the numbers climbed, finally settling on a jaw-dropping figure, 315.71 ounces. In one single cleanup, they had secured a haul worth over $750,000. It was one of the most successful gold weighs in the crew's history, a testament to their hard work and Rick's risky strategy.
That's the first gold weigh out of Raleigh Valley, and we know there's more down there. And I've never put that much gold on the table at once.
Their season goal of 1,500 ounces suddenly seemed not just possible, but probable. But as the celebration unfolded, a bigger question remained unanswered. A leader's burden. Many people are crazy about the final number, the weight, the dollar amount. It's the shiny payoff, the moment that makes it all seem worthwhile. But what many overlooked is the immense personal and financial gamble that leads to a moment like that. For Rick Ness, this wasn't just a job, it was a personal crusade. He had invested everything he had and then some into this operation. The thing is, before they even find their first flake of gold, miners are often hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in the hole. Let's just talk about the fuel. A colossal wash plant like Monster Red, along with the fleet of excavators and rock trucks that feed it, has an insatiable appetite for diesel. We're talking about a burn rate of hundreds of gallons every single hour. The fuel bill alone can easily top $10,000 a day. That's like setting a pile of cash on fire every morning before you even know if you'll find a single speck of gold. Then there's the payroll for his crew, a team of specialists who have left their families behind to work in the remote wilderness. Add in the constant need for maintenance on the multi-million-dollar machinery, where a single blown hydraulic hose can shut down the entire operation and cost a fortune in lost time and repairs. This immense financial pressure creates a stressful environment where every decision is absolutely critical.
I know that there's good gold down there, but until you see it in the box, you're always tentative, you're always nervous. I'm expecting to see good things, but really right now I just want to get my eyes on it. It's going to take a lot of pressure off.
A bad call, choosing the wrong patch of ground, or a major mechanical failure doesn't just mean a bad week. It can mean the end of the entire season and financial ruin. You see, this $750,000 haul wasn't just profit. To put it mildly, it was more like a lifeline. A large portion of that money is already spent before it's even counted. It's immediately reinvested back into the operation to cover the massive overheads, paying off fuel debts and ensuring the crew gets paid. It was a huge victory, but it was also just a single battle in a long and incredibly expensive war against nature. This is the reality that is often lost in the excitement of a big gold way. The cameras capture the smiles and the celebration, but they don't always show the sleepless nights that came before it. The thing nobody tells you is the crushing mental toll this takes on a mine boss. Rick is responsible for the livelihoods of his entire crew. Their paychecks, their safety, and their morale all rest on his shoulders. These aren't just employees, they're people who have put their trust in his vision and his ability to find gold. That weight of responsibility is a heavy burden to carry, especially when you're isolated in the middle of nowhere. A successful cleanup like this brings a powerful wave of relief, but it's a temporary one. The pressure resets the very next day. They have to get up and do it all over again, hoping to find another rich pocket of pay dirt.
We've got a lot planned for this season, but number one priority above all else was getting to the bottom of Rally Valley. We're just about there. We're finally finding the rim.
It's a relentless, unforgiving cycle of risk and reward that defines the life of a modern-day gold prospector. This single success was a monumental achievement, but it was built on a foundation of high-stakes decisions and the courage to gamble it all. So, is it truly possible for anyone to just strike it rich overnight? Overnight. Success, a fallacy. When we see a headline like this, Rick Ness mines $250,000 in one haul, it's easy to get caught up in the fantasy. We think about what it would be like to find that kind of treasure. For the average person watching, it might seem like he just stumbled upon a lucky spot, that this kind of success can happen overnight. But is that really the truth? Are we missing a key detail here? The thing is, what we witnessed wasn't a lottery win. It was the result of years of experience, immense geological knowledge, and an unwavering belief in a calculated plan. Rick didn't just show up with a shovel and hope for the best. He has spent years learning how to read the land, understanding the flow of ancient rivers, and investing in the right equipment and the right people. This massive haul wasn't an isolated event. It was the culmination of countless failures, near misses, and smaller successes that taught him where and how to look. It's a story of persistence. What we don't see on camera are the years of struggle under Parker Schnabel, the seasons where he found very little on his own, and the moments of doubt that would have made most people quit. But then you have to wonder, is there something more going on? Some people whisper that Rick didn't just find a good patch of ground, they believe he might have stumbled onto a legendary mother lode. This is the stuff of Yukon folklore, a single concentrated source of gold that has been feeding the surrounding creeks and valleys for millions of years.
I'm very excited what I see right there. I've been waiting to see bedrock in this hole. We've got it right here.
Could it be that his haul wasn't just a lucky cleanup, but the first clue to a much larger, undiscovered treasure that prospectors have sought for over a century? What many have overlooked is the possibility of secret knowledge. You see, the old-timers in the Klondike passed down stories and hand-drawn maps of rich ground that were never officially recorded. There's a wild theory that Rick may have gotten his hands on one of these forgotten maps, or perhaps he has a unique geological survey that gives him an edge nobody else has. It would explain his confidence in ground that others might have passed over. Maybe his success isn't just about reading the land, but about reading a history that has been lost to time. To put it mildly, the idea of overnight success in gold mining is a myth. It's a tough, grueling business that demands an incredible amount of sacrifice. So, whether Rick's success is the result of finding a mythical mother lode, using a secret map, or just relentless effort, it's also a powerful reminder that true fortune isn't just found, it's earned. The gold is just the final glittering reward for a long, arduous, and perhaps much more mysterious journey than we'll ever know. So what do you think? Is the promise of gold worth the incredible risks and sacrifices? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of gold mining. Does luck have more to do with it than skill?